Hello to the two fans and welcome. This is Chicago Ted coming to you with the Sudamerican Master 4. Tonight it is going to be Not Today taking on Pain Gaming and an upper bracket showdown to ring through the ages or not. Whatever the case will be right here bringing you the action. Joining me tonight is going to be Android. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing super good. Very excited for this game. We have a Slardar ban against Not Today, which is definitely not one of those first phase bans we've been seeing. So that means we've got some powerhouses coming through the first ban series. Notably, the OD is there for anyone to grab up.
OD, yeah, definitely. Invoker has been banned out, so that's on the field for Not Today. Tend to pick up the Invoker if they can. Otherwise, they will go for the other OP heroes. Now that it's in the pool, why not? But a little bit of spring cleaning because two things. I'm using a new broadcasting software. So if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns about the stream, be sure to let me know in chat. Also, the betting odds from the stream overlay were swapped. So it's actually whoever was higher. I cannot remember for sure.
68
But
for Pain is
there we go.
correct.
So it's
Or for
68 for
Not Today.
Pain.
68 for Not Today is correct. It looks like a 68 for Pain, but that is unfortunately not the betting odds. Pain, though, still definitely a contender in this fight.
Yep, and Not Today. They'll go with some historic trends here. They'll grab the Vengeful Spirit first. So it's either been the Invoker or the Venge for their first pick. As far as what Pain Gaming decide to go for, I mean, they tend to go for the Linas a lot, but they also like to run, if they can, the Ursa. Now, the Isle's been banned out, so maybe they're not going to do that yet. But for the most part, I mean, the field is wide open for them. Vengeful Spirit isn't exactly a uncounterable hero, but the fact that she's picked up first means maybe you don't want to be too active about countering her. Rather pick a couple of heroes that you think you're good with. They can pick the Witch Doctor or, well, okay, wow. Now I can't claim that I figured they were going to do it because they pick it up right as I say it. But they'll also grab the Nature's Prophet to give them a little bit of split push, offer some versatility in team fights, and just be generally a nuisances across the map.
All right, we've got a bounty hunter though, so talking about nuisances, he's going to be a big one, constantly applying pressure, forcing Pain Gaming to really not be anywhere alone. A couple shuriken tosses, a Janata to the back of the Witch Doctor, and he is dead, even at low levels, so Bounty Hunter just needs to find his six, and Not Today have very scary map presence.
Yeah, the map presence is going to be great here, especially when dealing with a Nature's Prophet. If he has to go to the jungle, which sometimes if you've got a really strong safe lane, either duo or trio, now they've got a bounty, maybe it won't be a trio, but the point stands. If the Nature's Prophet has to go into the jungle, then the bounty can go and be, well, and stop whatever he's trying to pull out of it. So either sap his experience or put some pressure so he can't freely farm it up. Whichever the case, the bounty's going to offer a good amount of control. Also, if the bounty can get a track on the Witch Doctor, no matter where the Witch Doctor casts his Death Ward, as long as he doesn't have a BKB, the Shuriken will most likely bounce to him. Um, Given a couple of fringe cases, maybe not, but for the most part, yes, that Shuriken will end up canceling the Death Ward. So that's also a really great way or a really great reason to pick up the Bounty Hunter. The Venge and the Bounty both have great ways of stopping the Death Ward, and Death Ward being one of the more important things Witch Doctor can do in a mid-game team fight, it's certainly a good thing to have in your back pocket, a way to stop it. So as far as bans go, we see one of the popular Juggernaut picks being banned out. Death Prophet, also a pretty popular mid laner, going away. Interesting to note, we haven't seen a mid really get picked up unless Pain want to go with their historic Nature's Prophet mid, which I don't think they're going to do. But Not Today. They tend to like to pick up the Quap and Pain. They seem to like the Lina mid, so we might be seeing a matchup like that. Might not, but coming into the second pick phase, floor is wide open.
We definitely could. I'm wondering if that Nature's Prophet is going to go for more of that jungle build, kind of not rocking the off lane. Usually when you see Nature's Prophet, your mind just snaps to off lane, but lately I've seen it run in some precarious positions, and that would open up for a Witch Doctor Void combo if they want to go that direction.
Yes, the Void is a really great thing to bring up. Nature's Prophet also having a little bit of a say in a combo like that because the Wrath of Nature, teams don't tend to, or at least players don't tend to think about the Wrath of Nature that much, but it can be a very powerful nuke to have win in the mid game or even in the early game, a level 6 Wrath of Nature can sneak up on you. So if he can get his Aghanim Scepter out as well, then it could be a very, very good amount of damage to have in conjunction with the Death Ward and the Chronosphere. So I definitely see Pain Gaming, the option of picking the Faceless Void is there. And I mean, it's up to them. I don't see them play it a lot, but the synergy is so good that, you know, why not? Another option could be the Tidehunter, which they've picked up in the past. They've got a Nature's Prophet to already maybe take the offlaner if he isn't going to be mid. Again, whether it's mid or not, that's their decision. But yeah, if they don't want to throw him in the offlane, the Tide, the Faceless Void, all can be pretty decent options for them.
Yeah, I sent you a quick message. I think your new config made my mic really low, so just
Yep,
want to make sure everyone can hear
hot.
me.
I'm hot adjusting it. The cool thing about this OBS is I can actually see in real time where the levels of sound are at.
Oh,
So I'm
nice.
watching you. You are definitely lower, but I think I can fix that by raising the TeamSpeak volume.
Ooh, yeah, no, we all know it's just a clever cover, so you can mute me and not have to listen to me. We're gonna see an Enchantress, so most likely gonna be a position 4 roaming Enchantress, because offlane Enchantress, when you have a Nature's Prophet, seems a little bit greedy, so we're going to see Enchantress take that backseat role. That means her level 6 is going to be a little bit delayed. That means her items are going to be a little bit delayed. Can she be the powerhouse we need her to be?
Definitely. I mean, she can gank, she can deal a whole lot of damage. Her only issue is that she does suffer a lot to burst damage. And when you've got burst damage from, say, the Vengeful Spirit, the Magic Missile ends up doing a whole lot. The Shuriken Toss from a Bounty Hunter if he can get over leveled. And if they want to grab a Slark is a really good pick to have. If not today, want to grab it against the Enchantress. The Ursa's a really great pick to have. As is really the Batrider too. Can go in, isolate the Enchantress, pull her back into the damage. Whatever they've got to deal it, whether it be the Ursa, the Clinks, the Slark, anything. The Batrider will be a great hero to have to isolate. So really, Enchantress, when she first started getting popular, teams didn't really quite know. No one really quite knew how to stop her aggression, how to stop her snowball. But now there are plenty of ways, a lot of strategies to do it, which mostly revolve around isolation and desolation. Just doing a whole lot of burst damage really quickly and knocking her off the field. So as is typical, the bear will be picked against the deer, and Ursa, our third pick for not today.
I'm really surprised that OD has received no love here when both teams still need to pick up a mid laner.
That could probably be because priorities are a little bit more in favor of some of the more supporting cast nowadays. I mean, we've seen it time and time again. The mids can really be anything. As long as the Invoker's off the field, then mid can go anywhere. And OD, even though he is a very good snowballing hero, he does have his struggles in that his mid game can struggle against some other one position cores, and his early game isn't the greatest. Plus his push is pretty pitiful. So he does have his drawbacks, and to pick him up first opens you up to countering him, which can have its own issues later down the line. I really think that picking up everyone else and then kind of focusing on which mid goes best with it isn't too bad of a strategy. Or, you know, pulling a surprise and throwing, say, Vengeful Spirit or Nature's Prophet mid and screwing everything up. But not today. They'll grab the Tidehunter, adding again to their roster a bunch of heroes that can stop the Witch Doctor and also try to crowd control the Chaos Knight a little bit. It's going to be tough right now. The Chaos Knight is a very aggressive hero that kind of shrugs off single target damage, and most of Not Today is, you guessed it, single target damage. But the Tidehunter offers them a lot more crowd control, a little bit more AoE, and can stop the action if need be. So with the Chaos Knight on the field, I don't think we're going to see a Faceless Void from Pain Gaming. If anything, they'll grab their Lina, which they grab quite often, but the field is wide open for them. Same thing for Not Today. Their Quap has been banned out, but if they want to go with someone like it, they could grab themselves a Zeus, which wouldn't be too bad for their lineup. The only thing I'd have against the Zeus would be he struggles against the Chaos Knight, but a Zeus all in all might not be that bad.
Yeah, I think with the Zeus, you can spend a fair amount of time letting him avoid the Chaos Knight until he really doesn't have to deal with it. Pain Gaming, they have kind of a quirky lineup. Not so sure I'm seeing the synergy. Well,
Oh,
there's the Zeus you talked about, picked up on the
wrong
same
team.
team as the Chaos Knight. I like this pick. It also serves as just a deny pick against the Enchantress, so Not Today can't pick up the Zeus for themselves, because that really would nuke down the Deer Lady before she had a chance to come online.
Yeah, because it's not like Zeus is a linchpin hero for the Pain Gaming lineup. It definitely does feel more like a ban pick. Now, you could say something about the global strategy of the Nature's Prophet in the Zeus, or the burst damage she adds to the Enchantress's damage output, but all in all, I definitely think it's a great way to cancel Blink Daggers from the Tidehunter and the Ursa. It's a great way to kind of slowly burn down the huge HP pools of such, and also it's some pretty decent reveal for the Bounty Hunter. So all in all, it is a pretty good pick for both teams to get, and I think it's kind of sad that Not Today we're not able to get it. They're running low on their reserve time, so they've really got to think past this one. I don't know. Go for
Wind
Lion
Ranger
mid.
at your
Okay,
service.
that one makes a little bit more sense. Damn it. They're
It
going to
does make a
grab
lot
the
of sense,
Wind
man.
Ranger mid lane. I should have seen this one coming. They've done it twice in the past 3 games they've played, I think. So, yeah, that was a pretty obvious pick. So, we're coming in game right now. It should be a pretty fun one. These lineups, very aggressive, very active across the map, and a whole lot of fun to watch. So, I'm looking forward to getting on into this one.
All right, as we hop on in, everyone's gonna load in, so there's no ceremonial pause to start things off. I'm scared. I've never seen this happen.
Don't jinx it, Annie. Come on.
I'm sorry.
Caster
We'll start
101.
things off by introducing the teams. Here on the side of Pain Gaming, we're going to have King RD playing the Enchantress. Over here, it's going to be Lilkin6 on the support Witch Doctor. Following him up, it's going to be Lenaro on the Zeus. Down here in the bot lane, we're going to have 40R playing the CK, and chilling back in base, we have Jubilee on the Nature's Prophet.
All right, for the Dire team, that's Not Today. This time around, it's going to be Jericho taking the Bounty Hunter with XD, a stand-in on the Vengeful Spirit. Leo Style back to the roster, playing the Wind Ranger with Benhaz on the big old fuzzy wuzzy Ursa, and King Tika is going to be playing the Tidehunter. Now, King Tika, an interesting one. We don't have a whole lot of stats on him, but as an offlaner, it seems he's been pretty successful with Not Today as a team. Now, interesting to note, to get here, we are in the upper brackets. We've already played through 1 round for the teams to get to this point. Not Today, they beat out E-Wolves in the first round, while Pain Gaming, they beat out E-Kipo. So something could be said about the difference between those two teams and how tough it was to get to this point, but the fact still stays the same that, maybe Not Today had a harder time getting here, and that could show as the betting odds already are a little bit in their favor.
We're gonna have Jericho doing that bounty hunter thing here. He obviously skilled up the shadow work first, and he's gonna see if he can do something funky with the courier, but I don't think Zeus is gonna bite this time. He's been burned one too many times by bounty hunters.
Yeah, Jericho getting the snipe off. It kind of relies on also having someone who can get an early bottle. Doesn't seem like Zeus has done that. Actually, yeah, he's gotten it, but he made a good play, waiting on it just a little bit, whether it was just missing the last hit or actually intended maneuver. He is able to stop the courier snipe. A very good thing to have, especially considering Zeus really needs his bottle. He's a king that's very thirsty, or a god that is very thirsty. And up against the Wind Ranger, it is a necessary tool to stay in lane, to stay sustained, and keep spamming off those chain lightnings, which will be very important at keeping either Creep Equilibrium back or at the very least securing some CS. So while Jericho isn't able to find too much mid, they scouted out a Sentry Ward there as they saw a little bit of trading hits going on. He'll make his way up to the top, maybe put some pressure on Jubilee, which should help keep this Nature's Prophet back and force him into that jungle position we talked about. King RD, though, massing up a creep army, will make his way top and maybe look to start an early game fight, pre-2-minute rotation from this Enchantress.
Yeah, they've got crazy summons if they want to pick out something a little bit squishy like the bounty. If they want to go for the Venge after they assure that she has no more stun, that could be a fantastic pick to get things rolling.
We'll move up, though. Remember, Jericho is up, so if something goes fishy, he'll be able to scout it out. But actually, it's the other way around. King RD is going to find a dust onto Jericho, turnaround magic missile onto Jubilee. Benhaz trying to get some follow-up damage on. XD was kept back. Jubilee trying to run away. He's got boots, so he should be fine. But one right click from XD, not quite enough. Still though, Benhaz. Wait, Jericho, he gets the kill. Oh boy, they got it still.
Nature's Prophet turned back into the fight, maybe to try to reinitiate onto the Venge, but didn't realize the bounty was right behind him, looking to punish him at every step, and did end up getting the Janata off, and, well, that's it.
Yeah, that's definitely a troublesome maneuver to have. I kind of expected him to just keep walking away. He had those boots. There was nothing really to catch up to him. Of course, Jericho does have his boots of his own. Still, though, the 360 movement speed against the 340. Jubilee at enough of a distance, but however, their magic missile will be coming through. They come through with the Earth Shock as well. Just need one more swipe. And Ben has. That's actually Jericho to get the kill, but still, it's in proximity of the carry. This is very good for Not Today to start out on a 2-0 up against Pain Gaming in the laning phase. Will help them put a little bit of pressure.
Absolutely. Your bounty hunter's getting a lot of XP for that, a lot of gold. He's really going to feel fantastic here. Usually bounty hunters kind of starve a little bit. They rotate around, they look for something, but, well, in this case, he's feeling fantastic. There will be a return kill on the Zeus, so both mids end up going down. The difference is that Zeus was able to get the XP from the Windrunner kill.
Yeah, it's
and there's a
definitely
happy
favoring
little
the
tree
Zeus.
sitting there and watching all the destruction go down.
Yeah, Jericho looks like he's going to deny himself to creeps in the meantime. Interesting. But yeah, the mid trade-off is pretty important. And yeah, Zeus wins the kill-for-kill trade, but remember, Leo style going down first is able to come back to lane a lot sooner, get a couple of creeps more of last hits and denies, and try to get that equilibrium a little bit ahead in his favor. So while Zeus will be about level 5.5, Windranger is just level 5, so about a half a level's experience behind. But all in all, not too bad considering he's pretty much doubling up or getting very close to up against Linaro, which is very good, and also getting a bounty rune. Not too shabby.
If we look at overall CS, Windrunner's actually leading the charge up against a Zeus. Is that surprising at all, or would you expect that?
Yeah, you definitely expect it. Zeus has a pitiful... Oh, hold on. King Tika on the bottom lane. They'll come through with the Shockwave up the Satyr. They've also got the Chaos Ball. 3-second stun. They'll move in Jubilee, pull him back with a Reality Rift, and King Tika is going to go down. A 4-man rotation committed. Both quote-unquote offlaners have made their way down here, and now, even though the Satyr is still there, they'll continue pushing up the regen and the Shockwave, doing a great job at pushing through this wave. They've also got a couple of Treants moving on in, so this tower might not be that long for this world. Linaro, though, doesn't see a lot. Oh, the Shackle comes through, catches the creep. Not going to last all that long, but Jericho still moving in. Linaro will plant a tree, hoping to block a little bit of vision, and so far it's worked. He comes through with a Lightning Bolt, though. The Arcane Rune has been popped, so we'll try to turn things around. Leo style now on the run. Took a Lightning Bolt and a couple of Chain Lightnings to force him away. So some pretty good maneuvers from Linaro, dodging out the powerful shot as well as getting some damage in return. The bottom tier 1 in the meantime has already gone down. There will be a rotation from around the back from Jericho, but what's the Bounty Hunter going to do here?
I mean, the Bounty Hunter's going to try his best to have some sort of impact. Witch Doctor now at half health, that could be the target of the engage here. We're going to have Tide Hunter continue to go through, but he's only level 5, no Ravage for him. And now 40R just munching on him. There's going to be a dust here by the Enchantress. They do get vision on Jericho. They're going to spread him out. They're going to trap him up. He's no way to purge the dust. Finally, a Thunder God's Wrath will go through, securing the kill. Now it's going to be King Tekka on the run. They do lose the Witch Doctor on the back lines, but a worthwhile trade for a tier 1.
Yeah, it's very important they get that kill on Jericho. Even more that they forced out the buyback. And even though Witch Doctor did end up going down in the midst of that engagement, it was still very good for them to get what they did out of it. So they put some pressure on a tier 2 tower, get it down to very close to half HP. The siege creep's still powering through even. And they really haven't lost all that much in return. All 3 of their tier 1s are still standing, albeit half HP on the top lane. Lilkin will make his way up to get some much needed solo experience though. I mean, this is getting Lilkin dangerously close to that level 6. And considering how important the Death Ward is going to be throughout this game, that's very... you got to keep a close eye on that one if you're not today. 40R also finding some good experience. He's very close to his level 6. I think this is going to be a level 6 reality, or not reality rift, Phantasm from 40R. Or do you think we're going to be seeing more of a single pony brawling style from him?
I'm a huge fan of the early point Phantasm. It could be a great escape mechanism if you need it, but at this point 40R is feeling pretty survivable enough. He doesn't have any big items yet, so sometimes we see the CK hold off on grabbing the Phantasm until after he picks up an armlet. We'll see what his plan is here, because 40R, he's having a pretty successful time. His last hits aren't ideal, his net worth isn't the greatest, but he's not feeling a whole lot of pressure just yet.
Yeah, we'll see if they can put the pressure on him. Speaking of pressure, Lenaro might be feeling a little bit of it in this mid lane. Moving through, he's surrounded by 3. The moment he gets close to that wave might be the time to strike, and it looks like it will be. XD has made his way in, magic missiles out. Jericho as the follow-up, puts down another tree, but the shackle comes through, and that'll cut right through his happy little tree. A single tear was shed from Bob Ross as Leo Style now getting the kill. We'll push into this mid-tier 1. The glyph gets spent, the shockwave through from the Satyr to help defend. Looks like they won't get the tier 1 for now. However, a very important kill to happen in that mid lane. And one of the constant struggles of having a Zeus pick is that vulnerability as a mid laner to any sort of gank. He can't get close to last hit. Every single time he does, it risks. So, yep, the dust came out. Jericho, was he a victim of it? No.
No, he wasn't. It was on the very, very fringe of the outer limit. So now it looks like Jericho will get a free TP back to base, and that is allowing a little bit of time for mid lane to push out. The Satyr, unfortunately, has to make the ultimate sacrifice for his master, and now it's going to be Leo Style, feeling really good here. Just feeling enormous in terms of net worth. We'll take a Chaos Bolt right to the face. Does this party start? It's just 40R. Gonna get shackled up. Now the Wave of Terror for the negative armor. There's gonna be a TP in from Nature's Prophet. Chaos Knight will get back to safety. And the TP is cancelled by the NP. So, spooky engaged there, and Dire are feeling a lot more scary than the Radiant.
Yeah, and meanwhile, we saw an attempt at that Roshan coming out from Benhaz, but he's only got 1 point in Fury Swipes, 3 points and overpower, or sorry, 1 point overpower, 3 points Fury Swipes, so it's very hard for him to get the Roshan. XD might have to come in and offer a little bit of assistance. However, it looks like they want kills more. 40R seems to be the target. King Tika is being a little inconspicuous, trying to last hit without drawing attention. However, you can tell 40R, he smells something is up, and so he'll back out underneath the Aegis of his tier 1 tower. King RD, though, yep, might be in a little bit of trouble. Do they have a swap or anything for XD to initiate? Not quite level 6 on that Vengeful Spirit. So King RD should be fine. However, he's walking right into trouble. Ends up having a creep to help him out, though. Roshan will be attempted once more. Jericho might make his way into the pit. They need to help him out. I don't know if he can do it just with what he's got right now, but he certainly is trying. And, you know, his aggro swapping is very good, and he's able to tank most of it. However, the Satyrs end. They've scouted out the shockwave through, but Benhaz gets the last hit. Still, though, Radiant, they're looking to engage with Thunder God's Wrath. Jericho, they've got the dust on him. They spotted him out for just a short amount of time. The Chaos Bolt's on the King Tika, though, who is level 6, holding off on that Ravage for now, though. Reality Rift in. They've got the damage. It comes through, but Littlekin not quite enough. They're looking for the last hit. They've got it with the Chaos Bolt. 4 seconds, minimal damage, but it was all they needed to get the kill. And so, Pain Gaming, they successfully stopped the Roshan attempt, albeit very slow attempt, but it was still a trial. 40R getting very lucky with 2 illusions on that level 1 Phantasm. They'll push in and try to finish off this bottom tier 2 tower as a little trophy for their team fight win right there.
Well, hopefully they'll get something out of that. Jericho here, he only has his level 4, so it was a phenomenal start for the Bounty Hunter. Seems to have fizzled out here. We're at 10 minutes in. He'd like him to have his level 6. He will be ticking into that level 5 very soon, but still not with that track, and not today. Desperately need that before they start fighting. We've seen Tidehunter hold on to his Ravage the entire time, and where's the first real fight going to break out? Is it going to be a Roche contest, or an all-out push from Pain that gets stopped?
Roche is going to be more of a straight one-man fight from Benhaz. He's going to constantly go into there, and eventually he'll get it. Like, not today. They've got Jericho scouting it out. I think at this point, Pain Gaming might realize that Jericho's close by, so they might go over every now and then and drop either a Sentry Ward or a Dust to scout it out. But it seems for the most part, they're sending down a couple of illusions. Yeah, Jericho goes in very deep. They've got him. And, I mean, to the credit of Pain Gaming, yeah, they had a Sentry down, but they expected not today to continue to scout out the Roshan, or at least the area around it, Jericho being the unlucky one to do it. Yep, Jubilee in the top lane. They've got Focus Fire through. He'll try to sprout, but Leo Style calls it and moves up right next to him before he's able to cast. So amazing presence of mind from Leo Style to call that one out and make sure that there was no chance of Jubilee escaping from that one. So not today in Pain Gaming. They're relatively neck and neck so far in this game, at least for kills. For net worth, we've got about 3,500 gold advantage for Not Today, 3,000 experience, and still dropping. So Not Today are looking all right. That Roshan was a huge plus for them. I'm imagining a Blink Dagger will be next for Benhaz after he's picked up the Mask of Madness. And I think that's where we see the fight starting to break out. So we're past the first Roshan. We've got the first Aegis. Now that Not Today feel a little bit stronger, they're getting close to the level 6 on Jericho. Once that level 6 hits, I think we've got the green light going for the fight from Not Today.
I completely agree. I think this is a case of not today. They're going to get that super acceleration in terms of what they get out of the fights, so it's going to benefit them to take as many fights as possible. As soon as they have ults up, as soon as they have a smoke or a positioning advantage, go in for it. Pain Gaming, I think they're either going to have to get serious momentum going in the next couple of minutes, or they're going to have to push really late with that CK and the Zeus and the Nature's Prophet. So not today. They're going to really hit their spike around 30-35 minutes, and we'll see how Pain Gaming can deal with that.
30-35, hell, they're going to hit their spike in the next 5 minutes, I think. So they'll smoke up, or at least Pain Gaming smoke up. They'll move in towards the mid lane. Benhaz is farming freely. Remember, he's their Aegis carrier. So it's not quite the target you want to initiate on. Rather, they make their move around through the Ancient Pit up to the top rune. Could they try the wraparound in the mid lane? Again, it's a target you don't exactly want, but it looks like not today. They all back off to their bottom tier 2 as if they know what's going on. And, you know, you got to give them credit. They probably do have some idea that this smoke is happening. So while Pain Gaming find no one, Not Today will start to mount the push in the bottom lane, look to equalize the towers down here and grab a tier 1 bottom. It won't be without trade, though. I think Pain Gaming are set up to attempt a tier 2 maneuver up on the top.
All right, we'll see what's going to happen here. Is Jubilu. He's got his little Treant army ready to run through, so it's going to be just kind of both teams ignoring each other. Which is the scarier pushing team right now? It seems like Dire should be dealing with Nature's Prophet, but they got their eyes on the prize.
Yeah, Pain Gaming have a lot better of a pushing team, but Not Today recognize that they can get that tier 1 tower and still back off to defend. So mass TPs lighting up the Christmas tree up on the top lane. Not Today. Benhaz will lead the charge, but immediately gets stopped with a troll trap. So Pain Gaming, they disengage. They aren't feeling too pressured to take that tower, actually, and I like the control that they had there. They didn't want to push it too hard. They know they've got a good amount of damage on both the top tier 1 and tier 2. That's all they really need for the Nature's Prophet to finish the job if things go late and they need a split pusher to start creating pressure. So get some aggression going now, and it will save you lots of time in the future. And it's a lot better than defending a tier 1 that is definitely going to go down anyway, and probably would have gone down even if they had gone to defend. Plus, they would have been TPing into Kinteka, which is not a great idea. Speaking of, he is about 1,500 gold, so getting closer to that Blink Dagger. As for our level 6s, everyone on the board now has completed the trek up. So Jericho has got the tracks, Lilkin's got the Death Wards, and everyone in between looking at some good ultimates. So XD's going to find King RD. The Shockwave comes through. XD taking a bit of damage, but in comes Benhaz. The Thunder God's Wrath doing quite a bit, but King RD's already down. Jubilu now on the run. They've got him with the Ravage committed. So that's going to be down for quite a while, but it gives him a kill, which gives him a lot of mat pressure, and the split pusher is dead. So without Nature's Prophet in the field, that means Not Today can start to call the shots a little bit more and find their pressure, find their tower pushes a lot easier.
Leo Style has opted to go for the Blink into a Maelstrom. What do you think of that as opposed to rushing into the Ags?
The Blink offers him so much control. It's pretty much a guaranteed shackle shot if you know where to blink to get it off. And he actually just straight up throws it at 40R. Interesting maneuver there. Who is taking a whole lot of damage. The armlet will protect him for now, but 40R is starting at a baseline HP that's pretty low, so if he tries to start the fight now, he could be in a bit of trouble. He'll go in anyway, though, looking for the Rift. He's got the armlet toggled up. Phantasm's at the ready, so we might see another toggle soon. Track out in Lunara, the Shuriken's out, but Benhaz, he's looking for the gold. He wants it. The Midas touch as he goes in the swipe and gets a whole lot from it. So Benhaz will find a killing spree, and Pain Gaming, they've got to just take a mass exodus out of that lane, or they risk losing more.
Yeah, we've got Lilkin just bopping out of there. Well, it's nothing to do with this. It seems like Pain, they're still trying to run with that momentum that they had about 5-6 minutes in the game, and they're starting to get shut down consistently. Is this going to be Not Today just roll in with no brakes on the train and continuing to accelerate their advantage, or can Pain kind of get it together and, really get their momentum back, claw themselves back in this?
Thing about Pain Gaming is they don't need to stand on the track. So even though Not Today can roll forward and be superpowers coming through, Pain Gaming have a fantastic split push lineup. They also have a lineup that can outlast in team fights. So as long as they don't let themselves take a full-on 5-man head-in fight, more they go in for a pick-off and let Not Today come at them one by one, or avoid them altogether. I think Pain Gaming can outmaneuver Not Today as far as split pushing and extended team fights go, but it's going to come down to their play style, how they take fights, and how they initiate. They went in a little bit deep here. They wanted to go after Leo style, which would have been a fantastic pick, but one that would be very hard to get off. And now Not Today, they're responding by moving around the bend and trying to cut them off behind. They're waiting for that cooldown of King Tika's Ravage. 6 seconds 5. His Blink Dagger is completed. They'll move in. 40R's there, though. He seems to be the only one left behind, left for dead. The track's out. Benhaz will chase. They've got the shackle not connecting. He's going to try to armlet toggle. 3-second Chaos Bolt as the rest comes through. King Tika goes through with the Ravage, gets the kill off the back lines. Meanwhile, Leo Styles having a bit of a heyday. However, he will finally get brought down. King RD, the one to put the nail in the coffin. Now he'll be on the run himself with the haste rune. Meanwhile, back in, Jubilee under trouble. Benhaz wiping him down and turning him into shreds. As Not Today, I mean, that's the full 5-man fight that we were talking about. Maybe a little bit less coordinated than would have been expected. But in 5-man engagements, I definitely think Not Today have that upper hand, as we talked about, and they show it. So yeah, if you let Not Today come at you full force, you just stand right in the tracks, they'll roll you over. And I think Pain Gaming, they just learned that one the hard way.
I think that was a classic case of save the carry syndrome. Chaos Knight was in such big trouble, and Littlekin rotated back in when it seemed like the Chaos Knight was going to be dead either way, giving up a kill on the Witch Doctor and forcing Pain Gaming to fight in a choke point, which does not favor them whatsoever. Like you said, they are split pushers. They want to be able to get away from fights. They want to be able to reset whenever they need to. So Not Today, really capitalizing on the fact that Pain Gaming seem to have just a little bit of lagging synergy when they go in for these engagements.
They'll come through now, though, for the mid lane push. We'll see if they can get their synergy together. Attempted shackle initially onto 40R. Will find no trees, but he'll continue pushing, taking quite a bit of harass here. A lot of chinks in his armor coming through, and every single arrow seems to be finding it. So 40R will have to back off. They've got a little bit of sustain by way of the Urn of Shadows to help him up. But, I mean, again, the writing on the wall is still the same. Not Today are feeling very, very strong, and I think all they've really got to do is start putting a whole lot more pressure on Pain Gaming side of the map, start trying to take the fights to them rather than letting Pain to Gaming control when the fights happen, and they'll be A-okay. Jericho's going to now go in under Jubilee. The Sprout's out, but the track's through. They've got full vision, the power shot in, and they will bring Jubilee down. An attempted TP to maybe save his life will be canceled, leaving Not Today with a carte blanche to push down the top or bottom tier 2 tower and maybe just get this one uncontested. King Tika will move forward onto this one, absorb the damage. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Benhaz doing what Ursas do best whenever there's an Enchantress on the field and getting himself an unstoppable spree 20 minutes in.
It's looking pretty grim for Pain Gaming. If they want to continue to apply pressure into the late game, the Nature's Prophet cannot die like this, and now with Pain Gaming losing their tier 2 tower bottom, the entire jungle is
top lane. 40R, Ravage out. They've got the focus fire. He's trying the Chaos Bolt, but isn't able to armlet through it. Chaos Bolt is not able to help him. The swap. What?
It's oh no. Oh lordy, what's happening?
What just happened? An attempted swap to cancel the TP ended up half swapping? I don't know. Jericho will get caught out in the mid lane. Tracks out, will now go into Jubilee. They've got the Thunder Gods. Jubilee trying to get a return kill, but the magic missile from XD. Well placed, well played from the Vengeful Spirit. Not even a Blink Dagger, just incredible positioning from Vengeful Spirit, it seems, will be the general case for this game. And Not Today, I mean, it seems every single one of them is playing at least somewhat in tune, more so than Pain Gaming, as they hold up a 17 kill, well, at least an 11 kill advantage over Pain Gaming's lineup, and more so, they're controlling most of the map now. They have equal towers taken down, which is kind of expected for Pain
Oh,
Gaming's
King
lineup, but
RD.
what? Oh.
Bottom lane, he just gets kind of shackled to a creep and left for dead. Looks like Windrunner doesn't want to initiate onto that one, as there is going to be a support sticking by her side, so she's not going to get too bloodthirsty now, but Enchantress forced back from her own lane. It's a grim spot if you're Pain. We talked about how they're split pushers, but how well is their high ground defense going to be able to come into play? Because it seems like that might be coming sooner rather than later.
Well, Zeus and Witch Doctor are very good at defending their high ground, so it's not going to be that bad, but it comes down to how good Not Today's high ground push is. And Ursa and Tidehunter are notorious for being able to just straight up knock down the high ground with one good blink in, but it's got to be a good blink in. If they end up blinking in the wrong spot, then you could see them get kited out. Now, the BKB on Ursa makes it harder to kite him, but it's still possible. He is going to go for this Aegis, though, which gives him a lot more power to be a little bit more throw caution to the wind aggressive, but we'll see if this is going to be quite enough for them to end up going for that high ground push. They've got to, two things they've got to be sure of before they even try to breach it. One, their sustain's good enough. Two, their push is good enough. Both of those are seen to be covered. The third major thing is they got to be sure that Pain Gaming isn't split pushing them too hard, and that one's going to be a little bit more difficult for them, I feel.
I have some serious questions about what CK's been doing. It seems like he's falling a little bit behind. He does now just pick up a Vitality booster. Is he going straight Heart after Armlet?
I mean, you can have the Armlet on constantly. Maybe. I mean, they go through 40R. He's already dead, so it doesn't really matter. The Ravage is out. It will catch Littlekin, but this just feels like, you know, it's an expected team fight. There wasn't anything too revolutionary about it, just the fact that Pain Gaming, they split pushed for a little bit too long. They saw the Roshan go down, which typically is a good indicator that you should really not be where you're at currently, because after Roshan's down, everyone can now TP in or move into your location. So it's at that point you want to get off the map, try to read where Not Today are going, and stop, or at least not put yourself in a bad position. It looks like they did the complete opposite of that. Well, XD, he'll get brought down in the mid lane. Not too bad of a kill for a Pain Gaming to get, but still, Pain Gaming gave up a huge amount there, and you brought up 40R. He is feeling a little bit weak right now, and if he is going for that heart first, it's a relatively hard item build-up for an item that doesn't entirely give Chaos Knight more than... Actually, his sustain and damage it gives is really good, but I don't know if it's going to be able to have the impact just because Chaos Knight right now is feeling a little bit weak. They've got so much crowd control for him, and he's not able to quite deal with it, even with all of his illusions.
Yeah, I mean, even if 40R does get this heart reasonably timed, which is going to be pretty difficult, he has 3 deaths, he's not finding a lot of space, but let's say in the next 10 minutes he completes his heart, where's the damage coming from? Because Zeus is going to start to do a whole lot less, if Not Today build up Magic Resist Enchantress. She doesn't go for the Dragon Lance into Ags. I mean, Nature's Prophet kind of tickles at this point. He's going for an Orchid, but his right click is still just about 100. I feel like CK, yeah, the survivability is alright, but what does he really add to a team fight by being alive?
Well, you gotta imagine that all that extra stats will give his illusions a lot of damage and allow him to tank through a little bit more. So I think his main point here is to go for the Outlast style, which is definitely the team fight that favors Pain Gaming. The one that's kind of all over the map, takes place over this course of 5 to 6 minutes or so, and just doesn't happen in one centralized location. So if you can keep lasting, you get that Heart of Tress to get up, to get some burst damage off, then retreat, heal up, and then go right back in while everyone else is trying to kite them out and whatnot. Like, that's the kind of fight you have to take. Also, what Heart will do is it'll make it so that your illusions demolish towers. All that extra strength will help them with a lot of damage, and towers will fall very quickly. So if you can find a position to split push, then the split push becomes scarier and scarier, and Not Today, they feel a little bit more pressured. So I think that's what they want to do. The damage is there, but it's more about the control in team fights and about the pressure you can exert on their buildings and just by split pushing. So I like the Heart for that reason. But I also feel like maybe he should try to go for something a little bit easier of a build-up, maybe stop quickly into a Sanjin Yasha, or just a Helm of the Dominator or something to give him some fighting potential right now. But it looks like they will go up into the top lane and try to get some damage off. Meanwhile, a major fight push to the top.
Yeah, I just want to point out how brutal Not Today's vision is. They have so many aggressive wards here. 2 down bottom, 2 here near the top lane, and it's really paying off.
The Ravage, sorry to cut you, as we see on the top bottom lane. Jubilee now, Carly Sprout will go for the TP out. They're trying to stop it, but they can't quite do it. 40R now on the run, trying to toggle that armlet, but the rest of Not Today are now left behind. The rotations, the forcing of the TPs, beautiful. Can they get Leo style here? He's popping the wind run, but the folk, it's not like he's not doing anything. He's just taking a full death ward and, well, not able to stop the incoming damage. So he'll be down and out for the count. Even though Pain Gaming, they lost 40R, getting Leo style there is massive. And another big thing. What?
A Witch Doctor grabbing up a gem here. That's for the Bounty Hunter, but it seems like that's such a starvation of the Witch Doctor. That's a pretty expensive item. The Witch Doctor's absolute bottom of the net worth chart. He's sitting on arcane boots, and he's been able to pick up a ward or two, but I don't know. It feels very, very last-ditch effort.
I mean, having any sort of way to counter Not Today's fantastic vision, as you pointed out, is going to be very important. You got to make sure that, first of all, having that gem, or at least buying that gem, I don't know who they put it on. Okay, they put it on King RD.
Okay.
But it'll allow them to at least try to limit the vision Not Today have on their side of the map. And vision being such an important part of getting map control out on your side of the field, it's important that you've got that gem. They're just going to make sure King RD does not die. The point booster giving them some raw HP will definitely help with that aspect, but I agree with the gem pickup as long as it isn't going on the one who bought it. And as much gold as you can save by not having to buy sentries, that is gold well spent. So I agree with it. I'm looking to see if it will have the impact, though, that they need it to have, as 40R now in a whole lot of trouble here on the bottom lane. Leo style will scout him out. Power shot for the vision. 3 seconds on the Chaos Bolt. He should have just TP'd right then and there, but the basher he was afraid of from Ben has. Looks like no matter what happens, though, he is out for the count. 50 seconds now with buyback ready, but no lane is pushing in. Pain Gaming, they don't really have that many avenues to split push. Not today. This could be their opening.
Yeah, I think they're going to try to group up and get done what they can. Usually, I want to say Ursa is going to start to fall off around 30-40 minutes, and CK is going to really start to hit his stride, but in this game, it feels like Ben Haz is just getting bigger and bigger. He's now godlike, and, well, CK just really not burning up the crowd here. He's 5th on the net worth chart, surpassed by 3 Not Today heroes, and now the high ground siege will come out. CK dead for another 12 seconds, doesn't want to have to buy back. The Fortify buying some time. They've got the pipe up on Not Today. Now Leo style from the low ground, just absolutely sieging on this tower. Now with the Aghanim Scepter, meaning that power shot's going to be off cooldown very shortly. They can reinitiate onto the racks if they want. Do they play the safe and back out, or do they keep going and look for blood?
Keep going. They've got Blink Ravage on King Tika. They've got Blink on Ben Haz. Will pop out the Overpower. Are they going to go in for this one? It looks like Ben Haz, he definitely wants to. He's got the fire straight shooting out of his nose right now. That means he's up for business. Out of his eyes, I don't know. It's an animation. It's a pixel, or whatever you call it.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Windrunner, and I got really disturbed.
Oh. Okay.
Okay.
Ursa.
Either way,
Ursa.
Radiant are back up. They're looking to defend here, and even though the Radiant heroes are a bit flimsy, they still do form a nice impenetrable wall when they're all together. So we're going to see the fight starting out with the CK illusions kiting around. There's a track on the CK illusions, so I'm not sure if they think that's real or what.
Well, whether it's real or not, they know for sure that Phantasm's down. That's huge. Phantasm's down, Thunder God's Wrath is down, the pipe is up, they move on in. XD looking for the swap, but isn't able to find it. Leo style now, focus firing down those racks. Lilkin and King RD, they make their move out on in, but King Tika, he's still waiting for it. Patient, as always, on this Tidehunter. Such a great offlaner this guy is, and Sad they don't have more stats on him as part of his team, but it looks like if he's not a permanent member of their roster, he most certainly will be from here on out. They'll smoke up, they'll move in, bottom lane once again, looking for the fake, the double bait switch. They're out on Jubilee, swap back all of a couple meters, but it looks like the desolation's right there. GG, well played. I guess they just didn't have enough to deal with the rest of the fight. It felt like kind of a lackluster way to end it, but
well, it's 31 minutes in. There was over a 25,000 net worth experience, and it's only going to get harder from Pain as the track kills continue to spiral up, and, well, the cores from Pain just never really got online, and we're going to see what happens in Game 2, because Pain, they don't want to drop this without a fight, but not today, are certainly looking fantastic here in Game 1 of this best-of-3 series.
And just as you said, it is a Game 1, so we're not done with you guys just yet. We potentially have 2 more full games to play, depending on how the next one goes. If not today, win it. They will put Pain Gaming into the lower bracket to face up against Generation X. If Pain Gaming win, then we'll go to a Game 3, but we can't see the future. There is only now. So we're going to take a short little break. Guys, don't switch that channel because more Sudamerican will be coming up next.